Good morning. It is 8:30. Our plan today is to visit the park, and thereafter we will go to Bath, have a look at Bath, and then make our way to Cardiff. Since we visited in mid-February, the trees were bare and the lake almost empty. So please imagine the scenery a lot more green and pleasant. The first half of the day we then spent in the garden. The main feature of the garden then is the lake in the center, around which there is a path. And alongside the path, there are several buildings which you can explore as you walk along. One of the central ideas of an English garden is that you can discover the area with the buildings and the other structures as you walk along. However, by the deliberate placement of trees and shrubs, there's a creation of views, or a lack thereof. So you might walk along a path and see nothing but trees on your right and on your left, and then you walk around a small corner and into an open view over the area and the buildings. And then you might walk down a few more meters and discover yet another building or a new view on the buildings you already saw. This is meant to give you the impression that you're discovering new elements over and over again. Elements that can be discovered in this garden include the Pantheon and the Temple of Flora, the Temple of Apollo on its far hill, and a small Gothic cottage. Yes, even a small cottage was built in the park, as well as the church over there was just purely built so it can be seen. Amazing and quite beautiful, to be honest. The most impressive and maybe even the most important structures in the garden are the stone arch and the grotto. The grotto is a massive cave, which is, just like any other structure in the garden, created by humans. The grotto used to be a place of retreat for the hot days in summer. The water stream flowing through here would cool the room to bearable temperatures. And it hosts a statue of a nymph and one of the river gods. Since there is a massive pond, there of course are geese and ducks. And a few of the ducks made their way over to me, and just like the ducks in Oxford, they had to come to the realization that I was not there to distribute bread among them. However, we did not only encounter ducks, but also some of nature's most peculiar creatures. Here you can see a digger in its natural habitat, probably being scared as a group of German tourists walks by. Right, so I'm standing in front of a fake temple, which was purely built for it to be looked upon, just like everything else in this garden. And not only is the building itself quite amazing, but also the view. You might remember that I told you in my last video, the morning talk one, that my father compared these gardens to the estate of Mr. Darcy. And sure enough, part of the 2005 movie Pride and Prejudice was shot at Stourhead. The entire garden in its shape and vegetation is artificially created by man. And you come to realize this more than at any other stage of your walk when you come to the edge of the garden and see the outside and the dam that creates the pond. Thereafter, we made our way to Bath. However, when we arrived there, the name-giving Roman baths were already closed, so we had no option but to just walk around them. When the city was founded, it was not only put at the place it was for strategic reasons, but also because the warm springs seemed to be a good place to the Romans to put a bath upon. With the baths closed, we then had no other option but to visit the other attraction in the city, the Abbey. Bath Abbey was built from the 12th to the 16th century, and just like so many other Gothic churches, it can show off with beautifully painted windows, with magnificently detailed pillars, and with a grandiose general impression. After we finished our visit to the cathedral, we then walked around the city a little bit and enjoyed the small streets with the shops and the cafes, before we then went back into the car and drove through the Royal Crescent. It is Bath's most famous architectural structure and therefore cannot be missed on any trip to the city, no matter how short it is. After our quick drive through, we then made our way to Cardiff, where we arrived later that night. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video about Stourhead Gardens and a little bit of Bath. As mentioned earlier, I'm currently trying to increase the production speed of my videos, because I do have quite a lot of video footage from the travel week still. And soon I will be traveling again, so I need to get those videos out of the way. However, despite having finished all my essays for this term, there's still a lot of things to do. So I end up having less time for the editing than I would like to. And on top of that, there's going to be a change to my channel, which I hopefully will be able to reveal to you either this week or next week. The next 2 regular videos are going to be the last videos of the travel week. They're both set in Wales. The first one is mainly Cardiff and a little bit of travelling, and the second one is purely driving through the Welsh Mountains. I'm not even sure if I'm going to do voiceover over those scenes. Maybe I'm just going to show you the scenery and put some music behind it. It's like probably the best thing to do because the scenery is amazing. So do keep an eye out for the videos to come. Stay safe and see you soon. Focus on me, please. Yes, on me, on me, on me, on me.